to have a pretty strong practice in the past. And as I'm reaching the ripe old age over 60, that yeah, it's calmed down a little bit. So we're going to just have delicious, yummy stuff. If there's anything that you don't feel good in your body about doing, you just stop and rest and listen to your inner wisdom. So let's just talk a little bit about the breath for a moment. So just to make sure that that's the priority. So if you take your hand and you breathe on your hand, right? You're like as though you're making steam, like a little bit of heat, and you feel that in your throat. And then you close your mouth and you hear a hissing sound in the back of the throat, the ujjayi breath, just to bring it home. Because really, the point of yoga is to quiet the nervous system, to use the breath, to soothe the body, to relax the muscles so that you can then hear your higher power. You can hear the wisdom of yourself. You can get the intuition and the guidance. So the whole point is to slow everything down. So when you breathe with that sound, you're slowing the nervous system down, you're slowing the movement of the mind down and creating space, creating the sacred space to tap into that intuition and that guidance. So we'll try a couple breaths with it's called ujjayi breathing, which is that mouth is closed though. So you're inhaling with that hissing sound and you're trying to exhale with that hissing sound. So you're squeezing the vocal folds. Another way to do this is to hum. If you do a little humming on the exhale. You can whisper the hum, and that also is that sound. So the whole idea, if you don't do that and you just inhale, it's 3 seconds for an inhale, exhale, it's 3 seconds. But if you do the ujjayi and you squeeze the vocal folds by humming or making that little bit of hissing sound, you can stretch the breath 3 or 4 more, right, seconds than you normally would. And then the really fun part is to get to the end of that exhale and hang in the space at the end of the exhale. So let's just try 3 breaths like that. Deep breath in, exhaling, and you're trying to double your exhale twice as long as your inhale. Good. Again, inhale. And exhale. Hear the humming. One more. Inhale and exhale. And feel your body relaxing. Feel your shoulders relax, your jaw, your forehead, your scalp, and let all fear and tension begin to drain out of you as you arrive and come into the present moment. Nice. Okay. So you can sit on the floor, you can sit in a chair, you can sit on bolsters, whatever you need to feel comfortable. You can come on the mat. So, if you got a chair and you want to sit in that, you want to sit on the floor, you want to sit on blocks, whatever it is that you need to do to make sure your body's comfortable. And I'll sit on the chair just because why not? Get a little closer to you guys. I want you to be able to see my arms. So we're going to link the breath with the movement. So inhale, the arms are going to rise up. Exhale, just let the hands come down nice and slow. So the breath moves the body. Inhale, the arms rise up. And feel as though you're moving through something thick. Exhale, the hands move down. Feel the energy that surrounds you and holds you. Get to the end of the breath. Shoulders relax, jaw releases. Everything empty, empty, empty. Again, deep breath in. Feel more, do less. Exhale, hands come down. Slowly, 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 slowly. Pelvic floor lifts. Feel the little pops and clicks and just feel like it's starting to move out. One more. And exhale, hands come down. Beautiful. Deep breath in, arms rise up. And this time you're going to intertwine the fingers and turn the palms up. All right, so let's move back so you can see me. Inhale, take the knuckles to the top of the head. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, press the palms up. Feel the shoulders staying down as you press the palms up. And you work to the level that feels okay for your wrists and for your elbows. Deep breath in, and you can kind of turn the head a little bit, release the jaw. Exhale, feel like you sit down a little deeper as you press the arms up. And again, deep breath in. Face, jaw, neck, shoulders, everything's relaxed. Exhale, press the palms up. A deep breath in, stay here. Exhale, let the hands come down. Beautiful. So this one's a little more tricky. What you're going to do is take your right elbow over your left. So come a little closer, right? So then you can either keep the backs of the hands facing one another, or if you're feeling fancy, you can take the fingers of the bottom hand into the palm of the top hand. So the thumbs are facing in towards my nose, right? I've got the backs of the hands touching together, and then that lower finger, if you've got the range of motion, the fingers can come into the palm, right? There you go. So just see how that feels. Start to relax your forehead. Start to relax your scalp. Just turn your head from side to side and imagine you breathe in through your armpits. I know it's a weird place to breathe into, but I want you to imagine you have nostrils in your armpits and you're expanding the rib cage out to the side. So let me turn sideways. And neck and shoulders and jaw and face, and everything starts to relax. And then on the inhale, maybe you can take the elbows up a little bit. And then exhale, you can lower the elbows down and press the hands away. And you're going to see whether that's working for you. And you're just going to continue. On the inhale, the elbows will rise up. Maybe it's just a tiny little bit. Maybe it's not at all. Exhale, the elbows come down and you press the hands away. And again, let the jaw release, let the neck release, let the forehead, the scalp. And just pulse, close your eyes, because you're not, it's not like you're going to fall over. You're not having a balance issue here. Just kind of get into it and allow the body to release the tension in the spots. And wherever you feel that tension, I love this line. It's like you treat the discomfort in the body as though it's an injured child. Instead of getting annoyed with it, you're like, oh, I love you. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for helping me to feel what needs to be released and what I can let go of. One more breath. And hopefully this isn't too uncomfortable. Exhale, hands come down. Nice. Perfect. So just look for, before you unravel, which arm's on top. I got the right one on top. I hope you do too, because we're going to do the other side. So let those arms drop. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. Turn the head. See where it's all sticky in there. Just release. Good. All right. So here we go. Left arm on top, right arm on bottom. And then you'll decide, for some, which I'm thinking most of you are getting this, but if it's really uncomfortable, you can even use like a strap or a belt or a sock, right? If that's about, if you have a lot of tightness, that's another option to hold a strap. So backs of the hands face each other, thumbs in towards the nose, and maybe the fingers of the bottom hand come into the palm of the top hand. It's never, no one cares. Only the ego is the thing that gets involved with, like, if I can't do it all the way, right? Modify so that the breath can move into the areas that need to be moved in. So you're basically combing your consciousness, your prana, your love, your appreciation for your body through the different fibers. So inhale, the elbows rise up, maybe a little bit. Exhale, you lower, and then press the hands away and relax your jaw, relax your neck. And take your time, feel more, do less. Elbows rise up, maybe elbows rise down, press the hands away. You get into all these little sticky spots as you do this. And deep breath in. And slow it down, slow it down. Belly draws in, hands press away, forehead is smooth, neck and jaw, everything relaxes. Last two. Deep breath in. And exhale. Right? No, no, no. I said no, no, no to this tension that wants to live in my body. All right, say goodbye. Thank you for helping me. I'm letting go. I'm releasing discomfort. And then relax. And this time, take the shoulders back, up, forward, and down. So little circles going the other way. Back, up, forward, and down. Right, so you feel like the head of the arm bone into the socket, just kind of massaging. What's kind of cool, it's like massaging from the inside out. You can go the other way as well. Perfect. Let's do one more arm one, and then we'll get on the floor. So I'm going to take my right arm out in front. I'm going to take it across my body. All right, so I'm going to try to keep this arm straight, and then I'm going to take my left arm and then take the wrist to the wrist. Now, the tendency is to bend this. That's not what you want to do. You want to keep the arm straight and bring it across. So I'm going to feel this really beautiful stretch in my shoulder. And all I'm doing is turning my head from side to side, inhaling to one side, exhaling to the other side. And you should feel something going on. So I'm almost pulling the right shoulder back as I take that right arm across, right? So I'm feeling the oppositions moving in one direction and the other direction, creating this spaciousness here. And same thing, what can I let go of? Tension in my toes, tension in my lower back, my face as I comb my breath, my awareness into the spots that are sticky. Breathing deeply, hearing the sound of the breath, staying out of the thoughts and staying with the breath and the release. And it's funny how heavy the arms feel. It's like all that tension that wants to stay here just starts to drain out. So let's try the other side. Left arm comes out, left arm comes across, right arm meets the wrist to the wrist, and try not to, if you can, as best you can, try to keep the arm straight. So then you isolate the shoulder and bring the arm across and pull the shoulder back and turn the head. So you find your edge that's appropriate. And turn the head from side to side and breathe. Each breath, the jaw relaxes. Each breath, the tension in the face relaxes. The tongue, the muscles around the eyes, scalp, and the neck. I'm breathing in through my armpits, and I'm moving that breath right up into the shoulder, into the thoracic spine. Nice job. You guys look good. One more breath. I just love to turn the head because I keep a static pose more of a vinyasa. And this way I stay out of my mind a bit more, stay out of the thoughts. And I just feel my body and connect to my body and thank my body for what it's giving me. And then relax and just feel the heaviness, all the tension, right? Just drains out. Feel it run out through the fingertips. Find the end of your breath. Arms rising up, deep breath in. Exhale. This time, when you intertwine your fingers, can you thread the fingers differently? Can you put the other finger, the weird finger, first? And then press the palms up. Pull the shoulders down, turn the head. Inhale, knuckles come to the top of the head. Exhale, press the palms up. Be delicious. Remember your body. Love your body. Thank your body. It's a gift from nature. It's a gift, the blessing that we get. They say the body is on loan from nature as a home for our spirit. And so love and appreciation is what we need to direct towards it. And the arms come down, shoulders rise up and back, a couple more shoulder rolls. And then the other way. Yeah, I get little pops in there. I don't know about you guys. Good. All right, everybody pretty good? Yummy, right? All right, so I'm going to come onto hands and knees onto the mat. And tell me if you can't hear me or see me or anything. Let me move this up way a little bit. Awesome. Now, if it's difficult for you to be on the mat, be luxurious and put a little blanket or something underneath your knees if that doesn't feel good. Have a chair near you if it's hard to get up and down. And we come to the sacred carpet. And so just here, just checking out, wagging the tail a little bit, spreading the fingers wide apart, connecting to the earth, feeling that connection to the earth. Just wag the tail and then see if you can take your tailbone one direction and your head the other direction. So it's it's kind of more like a snake or a fish that you're doing, right? I'm swishing my tail one direction and my head goes the other direction. And I'm breathing. Each time I move to one side, I inhale, exhale to the other side. And see what kind of mobility you can get in the pelvis. It doesn't have to be a big movement. It just has to be a delicious movement. The weight shifts from one hand to the other. And you're wagging and you're breathing. There you go. Nice. And then we're going to turn the fingers out. So I'm spiraling my fingers out and just seeing how that feels. Same thing. Swish the tail one way, swish the tail the other way. And just see how that feels on the wrists. Make sure it all is good. And then one more time, you're going to turn the fingers towards you and decide how that is. You might have to kind of go into it, bending one elbow, bending the other elbow, stretching the hands, stretching the fingers. And you can wag your tail a little bit. Be sensitive because this is intense on the hands. We don't want to go too intense, just a little stretch. Makes a big difference. And then you're going to flip the hands this way. So the palms are up, the fingers are pointing, and you're just going to begin to stretch the tops, right? So that you're going to feel the wrist move the other way. And then spin the fingers towards one another. See how that feels? Just a little bit of pressure. You can wag the tail a bit. And then turn the fingers towards your body and see how that is. You didn't even know there was all that stuff in there, right? Isn't it crazy? Nice. Good job. And then we're going to do a little work with the toes. And so just so you know, the hands and the toes are like, and the feet are like the most intense parts of the body, actually. They really, really hold a lot of energy. So you're going to spread the toes apart. And you're just letting the heels come up and you're seeing what it's like. And again, it's up to, what's going on with your knees, what's going on with your body, whether you can come back and put any weight here. Maybe you have to support yourself, but if you can, see if you get a little bit of opening in the back of the foot. And you'll just gradually move into this more and more. Maybe you'll take your hands up to your knees. Maybe you'll lean back. Everybody's going to be at a different place. Maybe the knees will shoot forward. Maybe you'll take your hands behind you. So again, you can keep going until you take your chin to your tailbone. And that's what we're not trying to do anything crazy, but you're just trying to get into the place right below the base of the toes and stretch the feet. And whatever place that you're at, 3 breaths. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more. Nice job. Coming back onto the hands and knees. Wagging the tail again. This time we're going to turn the tailbone up, more of a classic cat pose. Roll the shoulders back, even bend the elbows a little bit. And imagine you drag your fingers, you drag your hands towards your legs, but you don't move them. You're just getting tension there. And then exhale, push through the ground, chin to the chest, and empty everything out. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, turn the tailbone up, roll the shoulders away from the ears, eyes look up. And exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Belly in, deep breath in. As you extend the spine, try to deepen the area between the shoulder blades. And as you round the spine, try to create more space between those shoulder blades. So on the inhale, you don't want to dump so much into the lower back. You want to think of the upper back deepening. And on the exhale, round and try to concentrate on the lower back, moving towards the sky. Drink the breath down into your body. And then like a tube of toothpaste from the pelvic floor, wring all the old air out and empty. Last one, deep breath in. Exhale, empty, empty, empty. Good. So create a little more space between the feet and the hands. And you'll see how you feel like, how everything feels, but you're going to hover. So I've got my knees up off the floor a little bit. And I'm just going to hover and see how that feels on the wrists. And then I'm going to press back and I'm going to move into downward facing dog with the knees bent, the head's relaxed, the arms are working to be straight, and maybe that's okay. And if that's not okay, You can come and do that on your elbows. If that bothers your wrist, you can come into it. Another option is to just stay with cat pose and hover just a little bit. Right, so you can play around with what feels good to your body today. If you are in the full down dog, you're bending and straightening one leg, you're bending and straightening the other leg, and letting the tailbone follow the action of the legs as the head drops. The weight of the head tractions the spine, and you're just letting the pelvis release and breathing in as you elongate the spine more and more. Legs are pretty wide on the mat. That's going to give you more space, opening up through the calves, and then dropping down onto the knees into cat pose. Turn the tailbone up. Exhale, round the spine. Let the tops of the feet go to the floor and sit back onto your heels, forehead to the floor. Inhale into cat pose. Drink the breath in the body. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest, and sit all the way back onto the heels, and just feel that lower back stretching. If you can't get all the way to the heels, so what, right? Just go wherever you can. Just feel this beautiful opening in the lower back. Head drops. Let your body be your teacher, right? I'm giving suggestions. Listen to your boundaries. Boundaries are good things to have. And again, rounding the spine, sitting back onto the heels. We'll do this a couple more times, 3 more times. Moving through something thick. Feel the air is thick. Looking up. Eyes look up. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Opening up the lower back. One more deep breath in. And exhale, round, chin to the chest. Good job. So if it's comfortable, stay here. And stretch the arms out. Let the head relax. Let your chin drop. You can even put your hands, right, so they support you. Say you're not all the way back with your butt on your heels, and that's fine. And just be here for a moment. You can tuck the toes in. You can let the tops of the feet be to the floor. See what feels good to you. Yeah, and just breathe your pelvis. As you breathe in, feel the pelvis expand. As you breathe out, feel the pelvis contract. Move the prana, the life force, the oxygen, the love into the corners of your body. You can rock from side to side a bit. Nice. And then you lift up. You might want to put a blanket if you don't have one. I'm already like babying myself. I promised I was going to baby myself. So I'm going to sit back towards the heels. And again, that depends on your knees, your feet. You have to set yourself up so that you feel comfortable. So you might even want to block underneath your seat. Right? So I can put a block here and I can sit back on the block, or 2 blocks, or a bolster. And we're just going to come into child's pose for a moment and let that head relax towards the floor or on your hands. And just stay here for a few moments with your breath completely supported, completely comfortable, super simple. Hear your breath. Nice long inhale, nice long exhale. Right? And as you stay there, you might decide that you don't need as many props because the body starts to let go of the tensions. Feel the space at the end of the breath. See what you can dissolve, what toxins you can release, what tension you can melt away. What have you been holding on to that you no longer need to hold on to? Can you find the stillness at the end of the breath and feel the mind a little more quiet? And then walk your hands over towards your right knee and extend out with the left arm and drop the head. Same thing. You can support the head with a pillow or a block. And feel that stretch through the whole lower back, the quadratus lumborum, that nice right lower back that loves to hold all of the gunk and the tension. Watch it wash away. You let it empty out. And then over to the other side. Walk the hands over. Head drops. So as you're walking your arms in one direction, you're feeling that you pull back a little bit in the opposite direction, always working in oppositions. One is though you have an angel pulling in your fingers, and another one kind of pressing your sit bones down towards the floor and breathing and combing your awareness through this area, cleansing and detangling like a really good conditioner in your hair. You comb through it. Nice work. Coming back to center. Okay, so we come on to the hands. Actually, I like to intertwine the fingers and come onto the elbows. Now, for some, if your elbows are tender, you might need more support or cushion underneath them. Intertwine the fingers, and you can play around with this. Walk your legs back a little bit, and you'll lift up. So the knees are up off the floor. If you can work to straighten the legs more and more, that'd be great. Walk the feet in a little bit and work those heels towards the floor, bending and straightening one leg, bending and straightening the other leg, wagging the tail. Head drops, belly draws in with the exhale. Nice, and see what the body's telling you today. Does it like it? Does it not like it? The breath always keeps you honest. Nice, and then drop down onto the knees. So now you're gonna walk your legs back. And the knees are still on the floor, and all you're gonna do is start to let the hips come forward. Shoulders are over the elbows, and then exhale and lift the hips back. So I'm working towards a forearm plank pose, which is more challenging, right? Without the knees on the floor. So you can do it if you're feeling that you want to take it a little bit more into a challenging direction, which I promised that I wasn't going to make you do. But if you were in the mood, you could take the knees off the floor. It is absolutely delightful to keep the knees on the floor and just move between these two motions. It is the most delightful core work because it's not that bad. Inhale, you come forward. Exhale, you lift up. Right? With or without the knees, you decide. You could do a couple with the knees, you could do a couple without the knees, but allow the breath to move you. Exhale, the hips lift. Inhale, you come forward. Exhale. Inhale, last one. And exhale. How about lowering down slowly on the floor? Turn your head to one side, let the arms relax, and just see how the lower back feels. You can move your blanket out of the way or keep it whatever feels good to you. And rock your hips. Turn your head to the other side. So it's important to have a little bit of the core engaged when you do the back bends, right? So, or loving back bends, we'll call them. So I'm pressing my pubic bone down on the floor. I'm feeling internal rotation of my thighs. I'm pressing down through the tops of the legs, and I'm going to take my hands behind me. If that's too tough, you can take a strap and hold on to it between your hands, or a sock, or whatever you got, right? Or you can clasp the hands. So I'm pressing down, I'm grounding through my legs and my pelvis, and I'm rolling the shoulders back and coming up as I inhale. Exhale, lower down, forehead to the floor. Allow the breath. I don't care how high you come. Even if you just come the tiniest bit up and you let your eyes look up. Exhale, lower down. Pull away from your toes. Deep breath in. And exhale. Again, deep breath in. And exhale. Try not to pinch your butt when you do this, right? It's like the butt wants to grip. See if you can not do that and feel your internal rotation of your legs. One more breath. And exhale. So you're strengthening those back muscles. Turn the head to the side and let the arms rest. And wiggle your hips from side to side. Give into the earth. Let the earth hold you. Turn the head to the other side. Less is more. Less is more. Breathe more, do less. Nice. Take the hands underneath you. Pull the chest forward. Don't lock the arms, right? Just come up a little bit, see how that feels. So I want you to really think about how far you came up without the hands. So maybe get like 1% more usage, 10% more usage. So you want to crank into your lower back. You want to pull your sternum away from your lower back. Inhale, pulling away from your toes, lengthening the lower lumbar. Exhale, lower down. Deep breath in, rising up. Baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Make sure it feels good. If it doesn't feel, go back to the other one. Right? And exhale, these motions can be so small. Last one. Beautiful. So you're going to press up onto your knees, pull your belly in, and come back slowly into child's pose. Make sure everybody's happy, that the body feels good. If you need the thing under, blanket under your knee, take care of yourself. So child's pose for a moment, either the tops of the feet back or the toes into the floor, and just be here and check in. How's the neck? How's the shoulders? How's the back? How's everybody? Nice. So if this is okay for you, you're going to put your hands on your lower back. You take the arms out to the sides and you'll come into a kneeling position. Arms will come up. See how that is for you. Exhale, you'll lower down. Hands onto the lower back. Maybe the head goes to the floor. If you need to put your hands here, that's also fine. Inhale, rising up. Feel the air is thick. Deep breath in. Take the breath down your body. Exhale. Like you're moving through molasses. Head drops. Deep breath in. See if you can keep the chin down as you come up. And then at the last moment, the head looks up. And exhale. Real slow. Are you loving the body with each breath? Chin down, deep breath in. And exhale. Hear the sound. Beautiful. Hands onto the floor. Inhale into cat pose. Turn the tailbone up. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Bring the knees together. Take the right leg out behind you and look up. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Pause for a moment, keep the belly in. Inhale, reach the leg back. Exhale, knee to the nose. Again, deep breath in. Exhale, knee to the nose. One more. And exhale. So we're going to see if we can bring that foot up in between the hands onto the floor. So what you might need are some blocks to help you get that leg through. So you can do whatever you need to do to get that leg through. I definitely like a block underneath or padding underneath that back knee, because moving on the knee just doesn't feel so nice to me without enough padding underneath there. So your hands can be on the blocks, and you're going to just let the hips come forward. As you do that, you'll roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. How far you go is up to you. You feel a big stretch in the psoas muscle and hip flexors. The tailbone wants to tuck. If I had a dial, I'd try to get my tailbone to go this way. So I'm not trying to get out of that arch, and the head can look up. And then exhale, I'll pull the hips back, pull the toes towards my face, and lean forward and try to take my head towards the knee. However far you get is up to you. It doesn't matter. Just see what the body allows you to do as you move through this with the breath. Holding on. I always feel like the breath is like kind of higher power. It's kind of like it tells me the truth about what my body is okay with. So I'm holding on to the hand of my breath as I explore my body. So each inhale, the hips come down, the chest looks up. Each exhale, I pull the hips back, I spread the toes, I let the head relax, chin drops. One more deep breath in. Shoulders down the back. Eyes look up. Exhale, pull the belly in. Head relaxes. Nice. So we'll change the legs around, but we'll put the hands on the floor first. Spread the fingers wide apart. Left leg goes up in the air. Exhale, knee to nose. And deep breath in, reach the leg. Grow the body in two different directions. Exhale, knee to nose. And again, deep breath in. Feel like someone's pulling on your toes, top of the head lengthens in the opposite direction. Exhale, scoop the navel towards the spine. One more. And exhale. Bravo. And then you're going to get that foot in between your hands as best you can. Nice to have the blocks, handy dandy blocks or books. And then the groin descends. I like to take the blocks up. What you want to do is make sure that the knee doesn't come forward, right, of the ankle. So it's not that horrible if it does because you got your back knee on the floor. It's when you got the back knee up off the floor that it becomes even more important. But it's good to get that good habit. Roll the shoulders back and look up. That's the inhale. I'm tucking my tailbone under. I'm trying to get what's called a posterior tilt to the pelvis. I'm tucking under. And then exhale. Pull the toes towards the face, head drops, and relax forward. So yummy. Go slow. I like to close my eyes and sometimes I lose my balance when I do it. Deep breath in, eyes look up. Sip the prana, the life force, down into all the corners. Exhale out all fear, all worry, all anxiety, all negativity. Say goodbye. I'm weeding. I'm weeding my body and cleansing and purifying with each breath. And more light and more love. Taking out the trash. Right, so as we purify and cleanse ourselves, we affect everything. Concentric rings flow out into nature, into the world, into creation. So we're doing this not only for ourselves, but for all of creation. Why not? Deep breath in, eyes look up. Exhale, pull the belly in, head drops. There you go, beautiful. Take that leg back. Make sure everybody's happy. Spread the fingers wide apart. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Knees are underneath your hips. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Look up. Exhale, round chin to the chest. Just see how the lower back's feeling. Sit all the way back onto your heels. Push through those arms and let the head drop. Pause here. Let the hands go underneath the head if you like. Let your buttocks drop down. Wiggle a little bit. Breathe. One more breath. Nice job. Hands onto the floor and come back up. One more time. Let's go into a downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up. Drop the head. Release the neck. Notice that there's a difference in the tightness. If you're in your down dog, can you let your heels drop to the left? Let your heels drop to the right. And let those hips follow the action. Go way over. You can even bend your knees a little bit. And then let the hips go way over to the other side. Way over to the other side. One more. There you go. All right. So let's come down onto, see, I didn't even make, did you guys notice I haven't even made you stand up yet. Okay, how nice am I? Not even one standing pose yet. You don't understand what that's like. All right, so this would definitely be something that you guys want to get at some point. 2 blocks, they're so great because, or a couple pillows would be great, or a couple blankets, because what you can do is you can elevate your hips and put something underneath it. Super yummy. So I don't know if you want to take a second and go grab it, or even towels. You can roll up a towel and put it underneath your back. Kind of nice to do. So I'll show you how we're going to do it. The block for me is the best, but so you're going to lay down on your back. I'm thinking you all are hearing me okay. I'm hoping that that's all right. And we don't need the towel or the block or anything yet. The feet are hip distance apart and parallel. And just here, before you do anything, allow yourself to just land in your body, land in this spot, in this present moment. And you'll press through the feet and you'll lift the hips gently up off the floor. And then exhale, come down. And I'm talking the smallest little movement here. And check in and see how it all feels. So inhale, you're lifting up the hips. Make sure the toes are pointing forward. Exhale, lower down. Now, when you lift up, I want you to pull the pelvis away from the head, because most of us will push into the, like up here, up into the head, instead of dragging yourself. And that's going to recruit your hamstrings to work a little bit. Exhale, lower down. So each time you lift up, you not only go up, but you go away from your head. That's not as delicious, but it's really therapeutic. On the next inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms. And exhale, lower down. Slow, 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 vertebra by vertebra. And see what the body likes and see what it doesn't like, and honor that boundary. Inhale, the arms rise up, hips lift, elongating the spine. Exhale, lowering down. Again, deep breath in, rising, hips and arms. Exhale, lower down, fold the belly and pelvic floor lifts. Last one. And exhale. Good. So keep the hips right where they are. Take the arms up in the air above the head. Deep breath in. Exhale, and just draw the right knee into your chest. Hug the knee to the chest. Inhale, arms come up, hips come up. Exhale, lower down, and bring the left knee into your chest. Make sure everybody likes that, right? When I say everybody, all the parts of the body. Inhale, hips lift, arms rise up. Exhale, lower down, right knee into your chest. And deep breath in, again, creating space. Exhale, and bring the left knee into the chest. One more, big breath in, arms rise up. Exhale, right knee to the chest. And deep breath in, arms rise up, hips lift. Exhale, left knee to the chest. And then bring both knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. You can take the knees close together. You can take the knees a little bit apart. See how that feels. Little circles so that you're getting all the muscles around the sacrum. And then go the other way. Right, make those circles the other way. Like a tailbone on the right side of the sacrum, above the sacrum, to the left, to the tailbone. And just feel that nice, beautiful massage. Hopefully it feels good. Beautiful. That's it. All right. So let's take the right knee into the chest and very slowly start to extend the left leg along the floor. Holding the right knee to your chest. Just make sure everything feels good. Toes point right up towards the ceiling. And you can rock the foot from side to side. See how that feels. No, just super simple. Breathe into this left leg. And then it's up to you. Again, you can just stay here and enjoy that feeling. See if you can take that right leg up in the air. Now, depends on how open the hamstrings are. So that leg might be down here. And if it is, what's nice is if you always bring a belt or something, you can put your hands around the leg, right? If you hold it here, that's going to be work on the core, but find a place that you can let that leg be straight. Maybe you can't let it be straight all the way, right? Maybe it's a little bit bent. So inhale, you'll bend it a bit. Exhale, you'll straighten it a bit. Just let that left foot point right up towards the sky. Don't let it go out to the side. Inhale, you'll bend. Exhale, you'll straighten. Inhale, you'll bend. And exhale, you'll straighten. One more. Deep breath in. And exhale. Good. And bring that knee into your chest. Let's just try the other side. Left knee comes into your chest. Right leg's on the floor. And maybe you'll let that leg extend. It's like before you make the movement, you ask the body the question, how do you like that? Does that feel okay? Where does that feel? And if you come up against some resistance, stay with it, do a couple breaths, and maybe then you could start to explore it a little bit more deeply. Rock the right foot from side to side. Pulse the left knee into your chest. Expand the ribs back into the floor and out to the side. And let the forehead be smooth and soft. And then you can work to straighten the leg. You can take your hands around the back of the leg. You can put a strap around the leg. Maybe the leg straightens, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you take it lower, whatever you need to do. Maybe this knee bends, maybe this leg bends, but you're exploring your hamstrings. So inhale, you bend the leg a bit. Exhale, you press the heel towards the sky as best you can. You're combing the breath, you're combing your awareness, you're combing your consciousness into an area that's congested and sticky and tangled. And they say, like, we put in here into the closets of the backs of the legs, the stuff we just want to bury. So, lovingly, respectfully, we're just, again, taking it out, leading it out with the breath, with love, with respect. Exhale, inhale, bend the knee a bit. Exhale, straighten. Last one. I know I say that twice, right? Good job. Bring that knee to your chest. You can bend the other leg. And bring both knees into your chest. Hug the knees. Give yourself a hug. I love you, body. Thank you, thank you, thank you for carrying me through this life and for all that I put you through and for any negative stuff that I say to you. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I so appreciate you. Feet onto the floor. Lift the hips, lift the arms. Exhale, lower down, knees into the chest. This time, take the arms up towards the ceiling and take the arms up towards above your head and the legs up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees into the chest. We'll do that 3 times. Legs towards the sky, arms above the head. Inhale, bend. Exhale, squeeze knees into the chest. Inhale, stretch the body. Feet to the sky, fingertips above your head. Exhale, knees into your chest. One more. Deep breath in. Exhale, knees into the chest. Bravo. Place the feet onto the floor. You're going to shift and lift your hips over to the right of your mat. And then you're going to roll on, take the knees and everybody all the way over, like you're sleeping on your left side, curled up. And you hold the knees with your left hand. And you're going to have to see how this feels on your back. So I'm keeping my knees even, and maybe I'm going to start to drop my right shoulder towards the floor. And you got to see how that feels. Don't bring the top knee with you, if at all possible. Exhale, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, you look to the knees. Exhale, you look over to the right shoulder. And maybe you can extend that right arm out, but just check. If anything feels weird in your lower back or kind of like, meh, not so delicious, just keep that right hand on your rib cage. The twist compress the spine, so you have to really respect it. You want to stabilize the lower back, take the twist into the upper back. Rock the head, breathe, and don't be ambitious. Be respectful, be loving. And this is how I think that we keep the consistency, is because the body wants this and it feels good and it's loving and it's nurturing and it's intimate and it's kind. Rather than forcing and trying to get something, I'm trying to let go of something. And the nervous system knows it. Nice job. So roll back onto your left side first, then come onto your back. And then maybe you just tap, right? I'm pressing through my feet. I'm tapping my lower back on the floor. Right? Tap, 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 tap. I shift a little to the left. I shift a little to the right. Make sure the lower back feels good. For some, that feels really nice. For some, might not. All right, we're so unique. Each one of us got different stuff going on. Knees into the chest. Rock a little. And everything rolls onto the right side. Like you're sleeping on your right side of your body. Left knee's on top of the right. Left hand's on your rib. Right hand's on the knees. And you start breathing and you see what feels appropriate. That there's no funky little thing going on in your lower back. And maybe you can extend that left arm out. But don't let the ego get into it. Allow the breath to guide you to hold your hand into the deepening into the pose. Breathing into the armpits, drink the breath down the body. On the exhale, pelvic floor lifts, belly draws in, and you wring out all the old air. Maybe the head can look over. Inhale, the head can look towards the knees. Exhale, the head looks out over that left shoulder. Go slow. Each breath, more love, more healing, more kindness, more cleansing, more purifying. Coming back to who you are, remembering who you are, feeling grateful. One more breath. Nice. Rolling again onto the right side first, then coming onto your back, hugging the knees into your chest. Okay, so you'll see how this goes depending on how tight the hips are. So right leg, the foot's on the floor. I'm going to take my left ankle onto my right knee. This is nice if you have a block because you can put your foot on the block and see how that feels. I'm externally rotating this left leg and I'm flexing the toes. If I feel anything in my knee, that's it. I can't feel anything in my knee and get to my hip. We got to respect the knee first. So you got to honor where you're at with this. If I start to bring this right knee into my chest and it affects my left knee, that's too far, right? So that's going to be your indicator whether you can go deeper in this. Maybe you can bring this leg in, maybe you can't. And if you can't, that's okay. Just stay there, breathe, rock your head, relax your jaw. Inhaling, move the head to one side. Exhale, move the head to the other side. And as you relax your jaw and you stretch into the pelvis, you have this kind of cranial sacral relationship. I relax my jaw. I relax my neck. I relax my pelvis. Lips together, teeth apart. Inhale one side. Exhale, turn the head to the other side. All right, so depending again where you're at with this, maybe you can cross the knees, cross at the knees. And again, same thing. If you feel anything in the knees that doesn't feel good, stay and don't go any deeper. Otherwise, you can start to bring the knees into your chest and you'll get hopefully a little bit of stretch in your hips. If you don't get anything, you can hold your shins. If you can't, still don't feel anything, hold on to your feet and flex your feet. And I promise you, as you bring your feet towards your shoulders, more than likely you'll feel something in your glutes. And you rock a little from side to side. You can turn your head from side to side as you breathe and relax every muscle of your forehead, of your scalp, every cell in your face, in your jaw, in your shoulders. Breathe down into the pelvis, into the belly. And feel like the magnetic force of the earth pulls off what is unnecessary to carry around. Like compost, you can let it go. She knows what to do with it. It grows a beautiful garden. All right, we're going to change sides. Feel free to stay in anything that feels good longer than I'm holding you. Right ankle goes onto left thigh. See how that is. And then you can start to decide whether you want to come closer and closer with that left leg. Flex the toes of the right. Let that right knee open up. And then you can hold the back of the left leg or around the shin. And draw the knee into your chest and rock your head. And start to breathe again. Inhale one side, exhale other side. I just think of the breath as this liquid light that melts everything away that doesn't need to be there. Lingering in this space at the end of the exhale is the magic. Every bit of that old air out. Beautiful. And then you'll slide that leg over, crossing at the knees, and then bringing the knees towards the chest. And you deciding whether that's right where you're at, or you can slide the hands down further and further towards the feet. Again, you don't win because you go deeper, right? Everybody knows that. You find the boundary and the edge that's appropriate for you, and you work there, and you love that spot, and you see what shifts as you respect this process, as you respect your boundaries, as you respect the body. Something feels weird in the knee, don't go further. Let the back of the neck, right? Watch the chin, is it way up in the sky? Let the back of the neck be long, the chin, not the, jam it in, but just let the chin feel like it floats so that the back of the neck is not crunched. And the shoulders and the jaw. What can you relax? And when you relax the easy spots in your body, the more challenging spots start to release. Bravo. Uncross the legs and bring the knees into the chest. Little circles. Okay. So, and again, everybody's going to work at the level that they're at. So, I would like for you to get some kind of something that you could put, whether it's a pillow underneath your lower back, whether it's a rolled up towel. And this just depends, or a folded blanket. This depends whether your back even likes to do this action or not, right? For those of you who've been doing it a little bit longer, you can lift your hips up. You can put, if you happen to have a block, put a block underneath your lower back, but put it on the lower setting. So again, whatever it is, or nothing, right? That's also fine, is to just be here and, right, be right on the floor and just let those knees touch one another, and that's fine too. So, but if you're comfortable, you put it underneath the sacrum. And then what I like to do is slide it down a little bit more so it tractions and creates a little kind of hammock for the lower back. I like to take the feet out and let the knees fall in towards one another, so that the knees kind of find that natural internal rotation. But see how that feels for you. Doesn't have to be too wide. And then the palms face up. I take my shoulders underneath me a little bit so my chest is open, and I make sure the neck feels good. I'm rocking the head from side to side, finding the point on the back of the head. It feels absolutely perfect. And stay in your most comfy spot. If none of that feels good, you can let the legs just be straight, right? We will go into Shavasana, but for right now, stay there. And take a deep breath in. And as you're there, just make a hum. 3 times. Deep breath in and hum. One more. So that's your own sound healing. And you can continue with that for 9 breaths if you like. And when you get to the end of the hum, without any strain, without any effort, can you linger in that space so that you start to create a relationship with that emptiness. And you'll notice the more you relax, the longer that space becomes. What can you let go of in the lower back? In the jaw? Hearing this sound soothe you. It's like a cat purring. Starts to let you drop in. And you could stay in that pose the whole time. Or you can now take out whatever padding you had underneath your lower back and put it underneath the backs of your knees and slide it down so that the lower back is now on the floor and the knees are supported with a pillow, a blanket, a block, whatever, so that now the lower back can really, really drop into the floor. If you need to bring your knees into your chest to release your lower back a little bit, if that feels better before, you just set yourself up so that you feel. So that as the backs of the knees are supported and the legs are extended, your lower back can just elongate. And the palms are up, the shoulders are open. Rock the head from side to side. And again, find the spaciousness, the base of the skull. You feel the beat of your heart. You listen to the sound of your breath and make it effortless. Don't try to do the ujjayi breath or anything. Just let the breath find its own natural rhythm. And visualize a warm, soothing stream of oil pours right onto your forehead and washes away the thoughts, the busyness of the mind. And it flows back through the scalp as though the divine hand is just soothing you, relaxing you, assuring you all is well, that you are held in love and light, that as your reality that you choose to remember. This place of grace that is always here as you quiet down the noise. You find the end of the breath. All the muscles in the face melt back towards the floor. The muscles around the eyes, lips together, teeth apart. You feel the earth come up to meet you as you fall back to it. It's almost like the spine deepens into the body, moves into the center of your being, and all the extremities wrap around it. Like the curve of the earth, like you fall back around the curve of the earth, and it holds you. And the gravitational force hugs you to her. You feel that connection and you synchronize. You almost can sense the beat of the heart of the earth, and you synchronize your heart with it. And you're nourished and you're nurtured and you're loved and you're soothed and you're held in the womb of Mother Nature, plugged in and connected, grounded and safe and supported. And the awareness moves into your center. The legs are heavy. The arms are surrendered. You feel this glow of light at the base of the spine. And it begins to spread along the spinal column, this light, this shimmering energy. And you go into the spinal cord and into the center of the spine. The spinal cord, there's a thread. They call it the Shushumna Nadi, this beautiful river of grace. And you imagine this shimmering thread lifts up out of you a few feet above you and becomes more radiant, more luminescent. And it begins to shine down, rain down light, healing you, soothing you, reminding you of your natural state of peace, nourishing. Bathe yourself in this light. Bhavasva Datsavito Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya Om Om Om. Take the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And take the thumbs gently over the tips of the fingers and wiggle the toes. Feel like you slide back into your body, feet first through the top of the head. And then gently, when you're ready, you'll bring your knees into your chest and roll onto your right side and rest there for a moment. Or don't move at all and stay there and be luxurious. Mm. When you're ready, you'll come into a cross-leg position and take your palms together. And feel the connection to your heart and to the love. Feel the love and the light and the radiance within you. Honor it in yourself and in all of creation and everyone you meet. Namaste.